1. Which principle of adult learning emphasizes the notary's role in connecting complex legal requirements to prior knowledge of the learner? A. Readiness. B. Memorization. C. Standardization. D. Observation. 2. When evaluating notarial training effectiveness, which approach best measures skill transfer into practice? A. Written examination scores. B. Trainee satisfaction surveys. C. Observed performance of notarizations. D. Attendance records. 3. In curriculum development for Alabama notary preparation, the first step should be to A. Establish test questions. B. Determine learners' performance gaps. C. Create marketing materials. D. Calculate training costs. 4. Which communication method is most effective when explaining Alabama notarial regulations to diverse literacy levels? A. Complex legal text. B. Peer-reviewed journals. C. Visual aids and demonstrations. D. Lengthy oral lectures. 5. Ensuring that notarizations meet Alabama statutory requirements is an example of A. Voluntary practice. B. Regulatory compliance. C. Informal mentorship. D. Optional guidelines. 6. Mentoring a new Alabama notary primarily supports which adult learning principle? A. Independent learning. B. Relevance. C. Repetition. D. Memorization. 7. Which evaluation method would best identify whether a notary trainee can apply knowledge under real-world conditions? A. Multiple choice test. B. Simulation of notarizations. C. Group discussion. D. Reading assignments. 8. A notary curriculum that emphasizes ethical decision-making is aligned with which adult learning theory? A. Behavioral reinforcement. B. Cognitive development. C. Experiential learning. D. Rote memorization. 9. Which is a key responsibility of an Alabama notary when communicating with the public? A. Providing legal advice. B. Acting as an impartial witness. C. Creating contracts. D. Enforcing state laws. 10. In adult learning, self-directed engagement during notary training reflects A. Pedagogy. B. Andragogy. C. Behaviorism. D. Classical conditioning. 11. When mentoring a notary applicant, which strategy fosters compliance with Alabama laws? A. Allowing improvisation during notarizations. B. Modeling proper journal entry practices. C. Ignoring minor errors. D. Skipping review of statutes. 12. In evaluation design, which measure best ensures validity for Alabama notary training assessments? A. Questions aligned with state statutes. B. Popularity among students. C. Trainer preference. D. Simplified vocabulary. 13. Which adult learning factor most influences retention of Alabama notary laws? A. Repetition of statutes. B. Real-world application exercises. C. Memorization drills. D. Timed tests. 14. When planning curriculum, ensuring alignment with Alabama notary exam competencies addresses A. Summative evaluation. B. Formative evaluation. C. Content validity. D. Construct bias. 15. Which of the following is prohibited for an Alabama notary? A. Verifying a signer's identity. B. Offering legal advice. C. Administering an oath. D. Certifying copies. 16. Which regulatory compliance principle should guide every Alabama notary? A. Flexibility of procedures. B. Strict adherence to statutes. C. Avoiding record-keeping. D. Personal interpretation of rules. 17. Which communication skill is most critical when instructing a signer about an oath? A. Use of complex terminology. B. Clear and concise instruction. C. Avoiding direct eye contact. D. Rapid delivery. 18. Which curriculum model is most effective for developing Alabama notary training programs? A. Spiral curriculum. B. Banking model. C. Rote repetition. D. Hidden curriculum. 19. Which principle ensures fairness when evaluating notary performance? A. Transparency. B. Flexibility. C. Intuition. D. Subjectivity. 20. A notary training program that includes case studies of ethical dilemmas is applying which instructional method? A. Lecture-based. B. Problem-based learning. C. Memorization. D. Standardized drills. 21. Which type of mentoring is most effective for preparing a candidate for Alabama's notary exam? A. Informal peer observation. B. Structured coaching sessions. C. Independent reading only. D. Ignoring feedback. 22. The most reliable way to evaluate compliance during a notarization is A. Reviewing notarized documents. B. Asking about personal opinions. C. Measuring confidence level. D. Tracking attendance at training. 23. Which adult learning motivation applies when trainees focus on real-world benefits of Alabama notary certification? A. Intrinsic relevance. B. Extrinsic reward. C. Passive compliance. D. Memorization. 24. When developing test questions for Alabama notary training, validity is best achieved by A. Aligning with statutory duties. B. Making items entertaining. C. Reducing question difficulty. D. Adding trick questions. 25. Which step is essential when evaluating notary training outcomes? A. Comparing scores to objectives. B. Ignoring state requirements. C. Limiting assessments to attendance. D. Relying only on peer feedback. 26. In adult learning, immediate application of notarization steps after instruction enhances A. Retention. B. Confusion. C. Disinterest. E. Frustration. 27. Which Alabama requirement must always be verified before notarization? A. Signer's identity. B. Signer's employment. C. Signer's address. D. Signer's income. 28. Which mentoring practice builds competence for new notaries? A. Allowing mistakes without correction. B. Providing constructive feedback. C. Avoiding observation. D. Ignoring statutory rules. 29. The use of rubrics in notary training evaluation ensures objective scoring. B. Subjective grading. C. Faster memorization. D. Informal results. 30. Which adult learning approach emphasizes collaboration in notary preparation classes? A. Cooperative learning. B. Independent memorization. C. Rote instruction. D. Passive observation. 31. Which Alabama law governs the official seal requirements for notaries? A. State Constitution. B. Code of Alabama. C. Federal statute. D. Local ordinance. 32. A notary must refuse to notarize a document if a signer lacks proper identification. B. The signer is a family member. C. The document is typed. D. The fee is unpaid. 33. Which communication strategy helps overcome language barriers in notarization? A. Using interpreters when permitted. E. Relying only on gestures. C. Ignoring signer confusion. D. Proceeding without explanation. 34. When developing training modules, sequencing content from simple to complex applies which principle? A. Scaffolding. B. Memorization. C. Reinforcement. D. Randomization. 35. Which Alabama Notary Act requires an oath or affirmation? A. Acknowledgement. B. Jurat. C. Copy certification. D. Signature witnessing. 36. An effective notary trainer uses which feedback method? A. Immediate corrective feedback. B. Ignoring mistakes. C. Punitive criticism. D. Delayed vague comments. 37. Which type of evaluation measures long-term effectiveness of notary education? A. Summative evaluation. B. Diagnostic evaluation. C. Formative evaluation. D. Process evaluation.